According to Retail Dive, Allbirds has begun selling on Amazon. The move comes as Allbirds builds out its distribution network. While the footwear brand doesn't view Amazon as a wholesale partner, it's like a secret. Is this like a secret relationship that we're in? Like, we're together. You can't tell anybody, though.
I don't know. I don't get that. Yeah, we'll talk about it.
Okay, the company has been steadily adding to its wholesale network with retailers including REI, Dick's Sporting Goods, Public Lands Banner, and Zalando. And the Retail Dive article also makes specific mention of the fact that the Allbirds product pages on Amazon note that the items ship from Amazon. Chris, we're also going to use this as the A&M put you on the spot question for you.
Oh, good
two
choice,
times in a row.
Because I got a lot to say about this one.
Okay, well, here's what they want to know. Nowadays, following companies like Peloton, do you see D2C brands launching on Amazon as a sign of savviness or a sign of trouble? I'm guessing that based on that intro, you're going to go on a rant. So I'm just going to concede the floor to you.
Going to concede the floor?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's a great question. I think it is obviously a sign that the brands are in trouble. But my question is, why is that, Anne? I mean, why? I'm curious what you think. Like, why do we only see this when brands are in trouble? Like, what is the hang up from the get-go? I don't understand that. Like, if you're a cool, suave, digitally native brand, why aren't you taking the Pepsi challenge and putting your brand up against everybody on Amazon right from the get-go if that's what you're going to do anyway?
I mean, I'd say that these brands are in trouble, though. I mean, yes,
Allbirds
they're
is
in
not
trouble.
doing well.
They're in trouble. I guess I'm just saying, like, I think this is part of the natural
Peloton was
evolution.
not doing well. Like the examples they're bringing up, Gap not doing well. You know,
Yes,
they're trying to get outlets.
But I think it's not that it's just like crisis mode. I think it's just the natural evolution of starting a brand, really. But keep going on your rant.
Exactly. Thank you. That's exactly my point. So my thing is, like, when Allbirds is hot, it's riding the wave of like consumer enthusiasm. Why aren't you already on Amazon trying to get your brand out on the feet of more people? Like, to me, it's hubris that holds these companies back on thinking that there's something they're not. The whole thing is just absolutely silly for me to watch. And you brought it up, but don't even get me started on the semantics of Amazon's not our wholesale partner. Yeah. Like, we're only fulfilling through Amazon. That's such baloney. You know who doesn't care about that? Your end customer. Your customer thinks you're selling through Amazon. They don't care. They don't know marketplace from this, from that. Like, BS. Like, you're so wrapped up in your own self. Allbirds, if you're making sure Retail Dive is putting this in their headline about you, that, come on, get over yourself. And all the DTC brands listening out there, like, don't make this your last gasp effort. Yeah. That's my opinion.
Yeah, I don't disagree with you. I don't disagree with you.
It's a fair rant.
I think it's a fair rant. I think that these D2C brands are not being started by retail experts. They're being started by somebody who, it's more like a startup than it is a retailer coming out with a new brand or somebody with experience in most cases. I think they're learning
how to do this. They hire those people
in,
though, especially as the money starts flowing in.
I
think that's a little extreme.
But at their core, like the reason that they do well and they get to the point where they can sell the volume that they can on Amazon is because they're starting with this values-based concept, and they're getting it's a millennial mentality. I think they're trying to get people interested in the brand because they're not Amazon, because they're individual, and they have to like keep that street cred. So I understand what is happening here, but you're right. You eventually need the scale because your consumers, while they do care about values, they also care about price. And I think that the ability to get this product into more hands and with a retailer that they're comfortable with, like Amazon, with free shipping, like all of those things are important to that Gen Z consumer, the millennial consumer too. So I think that you have to be thinking about this in your strategic plan. But you know who I actually think the biggest winner is here in this is Amazon, because I think Amazon knew this all along. Yeah. Like, they were watching these brands come out there, and Amazon's like, okay, Allbirds, you don't want to say that we're fulfilling for you because we're big bad Amazon. Well, let's start figuring out how we get around this. And so Amazon came up with all these programs like fulfillment through Amazon. You're not selling on Amazon. We're just doing the fulfillment for you. Buy with Prime. Our retailer or like your consumers are just buying with their Prime membership. They're not doing this. Amazon Pay. We'll just give them that option to pay for it. Like it's all of these like loopholes that Amazon has found to like let Allbirds and all these other brands do exactly what they're doing, but like still maintain the street cred. So I think it's just like, it's funny to me.
That's such a great point. It sounds like a high school relationship. Like, what are we at? Like, are we going steady? Are we exclusive? Like, I mean, like, what is that? I mean, it's just, I hope the VCs listening are like taking a note here, because they're like, you know, as they're investing in these companies, they're like, they should be pushing these companies to do this more quickly, especially when they're at the height of the interest. Yes. At the height of the interest, because that's going to end up creating more value for them in the long run than trying to do it at this point when you're already kind of struggling and potentially even drowning too.